can show you some of the people in my life.
So studio, udio.
Yes, what could
Yeah.
this possibly be?
So,
I am
yeah, we're chomping at the bit to do this one.
literally shocked.
Yeah. So, we decided to talk about a certain prog rock group, the Genesis. Only,
Gabriel.
yeah. With the one stipulation of, it's the early Peter.
For plenty of younger people you don't even know.
Yeah. I count me as one of those formerly.
Entire 80s and first part of the 90s, I just thought Genesis was the Phil Collins Genesis. And only knew Peter Gabriel as a solo artist.
Yeah, but it's not how it is at all.
But, Peter Gabriel was originally the leader of the Genesis group.
Yeah, so. Yeah, count me as not knowing.
All the way back to 1967 to 1975.
Yeah, it would be.
And your geometric deals for your headwear. That's what a tribute of what this, I believe. Yep. And
Yes.
that cool, you'll have to show a close-up picture of that. The geometric triangle helmet
Yeah.
that he's using.
Peter Gabriel was known to wear costumes,
Oh, yes, in the name of color.
and
This was supposed to be about garish colors, so I was supposed to wear.
yeah. So
Something bright colored in the
Yeah.
way of this.
for a basic, who are they? Peter Gabriel was the main vocalist during 67 to 75.
It was a group of art students.
Yeah.
I forgot what place they were from and what school, but it was a group of art kids and a
That
couple different musician groups.
yeah, it would be
Aunt Phillips was in something called Anon,
yeah.
I think. I don't know what else when he called him when he was playing his drums or whatever. Peter Gabriel started out as a drummer, remember?
Yeah, he did. Started, he was interested in drums, but still had to have one when he was doing his singing.
Yeah, that's how come you see another bass drum out there.
So, yeah,
Anyway, they made some recordings, 67,
they did.
a bunch of demos in 68.
Yeah.
Correct.
The manager at the time was pressing them to do, like, pop and, like, semi-psychedelic.
And your bunch of cool,
So,
a lot of acoustic guitar, a little bit electric, but mostly acoustic guitar strumming.
very acoustic, very, the woodwinds were actual, like, woodwind instruments and flutes.
Bunch of cool piano.
Yeah, so, but,
Can I
yeah,
take this off now?
I mean,
Is that a yes?
yes.
Can.
Yeah, so, but yeah,
Great geometry
geometry,
in the name of,
phenomenal.
because this, oh man.
I didn't even know that existed, so that's
Supposed to be in the bitter cold, and I'm still too hot in this thing. Of course, we do have the heat lights going. Oh!
Yeah, so
Bye-bye.
Tony,
Oh, the other band members? Yes.
the prominent ones anyway. Tony Banks, he was the keyboardist.
Yeah, bassist is Michael Rutherford.
Yeah, and the main guitar man didn't show up on the first two albums, but the part of the power quintet, I guess.
Yeah, Anthony Ant Phillips was the first guitarist.
Yeah, and then
That was gone in 1970.
Afterwards you had
Stephen Hackett that shows up in 71.
then Hackett. Yeah,
Classic lineup. And who else? Phil Collins, drummer.
yeah, Philbo Baggins. He showed up. He didn't show up for the first two albums either. They
Yeah,
had
same thing. They got their classic lineup
they had a separate drummer
for the
for each one.
71
Yeah,
album.
but yeah. So Phil shows up in 71 with Nursery Crime. So, but anyway, before getting into all that, we took a listen to their 68 recorded demos and singles and all the stuff before the first album.
Yeah, I gotta see if that
Just-
CD's on YouTube.
Pop. It was nice. Just
and you use some of those. Well, we didn't go through all of them. There's a couple more
yeah,
numbers in there that actually count as
but yeah,
rockers. A bunch of soft stuff.
yeah.
In their initial style.
It was nice, late '60s,
Softer and lighter thing.
British stuff. Yeah, but their first album, called From Genesis to Revelation, in 1969. So.
Yep, wasn't that the one that they only printed like 500 copies?
Yeah,
or something?
and it had a bitchin' album cover. Say that very, very ironically.
It was meant to look like a Bible, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's big black square from Genesis to Revelation, and
then some kind of anecdote about how it was thrown into the religious bin at your local record store.
yeah, they kept putting them in the religious
So the
section.
500 that were made were thrown into religious bins.
So yeah, they're that's a great addition to that collection.
Is that all you can get?
But yeah,
Forgot these were down here, by golly.
yeah, that's right. So instead, he owns it in the form of this re-release here, this
Pretty
compilation, which I
They
think
did it all the way past when Gabriel was gone. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is a 1976
whenever it was time to start caring about Genesis, yeah, no,
with Decca
yeah. So,
label.
but the first album is a nice mix of late '60s psychedelic and pop numbers. Again, a lot of acoustics, and
Piano.
their producer and manager of the time encouraged them to use acoustic instruments, mainly because they were cheaper and
Oh, did he?
all that. But yeah, that was a main push from first manager man.
Because they're cheaper.
I mean, that's what it's what he's saying.
Oh, yeah, I didn't look at
But-
the wiki entry.
But yeah, for what they had to work with, it was pretty good. I mean, I liked it. I could press skip on maybe about a third of them.
They're charming.
But yeah, it's not the rockers that are known to come up, especially next year. Like, they took hold of their own sound. They were like, you know what? Instead of letting him have his say, we're gonna take hold of it. We're gonna come on the 70
For what?
for Trespass, 1970.
Oh my gosh, are these out of order? Yes, they are.
So yeah,
Yeah, Trespass counts as awesome.
bitch and album
They're,
cover.
first hitting their prog stride.
Yeah, very
Like
bitch and
the
album
others
cover.
in the dawn of prog rock. Awesome. I love that little
So, but yeah,
Dumont Network illustration on the inside. And that one. And
It's-
a cool knife in the actual, it's a canvas painting.
yeah. One of the
Photograph of that shows a real knife that has just slashed the canvas and been stabbed
very violently.
where they quit slashing it.
It's almost like it almost counts as a wedge, a shosh wedge, but it's part of. So it's like not disrupting anything. But
Stagnation is actually one of my favorite songs of
yeah,
theirs.
it's a bitchin' song. There's also
Sad that the only other thing you get from Aunt Phillips. The knife is cool.
yeah, The Knife is my favorite song on here. That's a
What the other ones are called.
damn good song.
Dusk and
White Mountain, Looking for Someone.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Looking for Someone was pretty tight. Just this whole album was good. Like, I couldn't press skip on it. That's how
I like the two things from before their classic
yeah.
era.
So, and it's always good to see a Whitehead album cover. That's who did this.
Oh, I don't know.
So,
Is it the same person that did all three?
yeah, same person. But yeah, so yeah, just it's a more prog rock sound. They use a lot of diverse instruments in this album,
You get the format for
and it's the formulation of
longer songs,
what would be known as
cool
the Genesis sound.
prog passages and arrangements, classical sound,
Each
progressive rock.
Peter Gabriel was good with telling stories per song. Great lyrics.
That's kind of where these started, yeah. Stagnation, that's about the guy at the end of the world who is sick of drinking dirty water. And The Knife, of course, is about the war revolutionaries.
Yes. Yeah.
Some group of guys, kind of like Scotsmen or something, getting ready to hold some kind of uprising war.
Yeah. So.
And you're cool.
But
yes,
the inner liner.
Love that.
Yeah. Good painting, good album.
And it was two different drummers. Remember, Phil joining the next album is the third drummer. John Mayhew.
Yeah. This one was
with the funny anecdote.
This
Paul Whitehead.
Much later about John Mayhew. There was a Genesis cover band.
Yeah, what was the funny thing about him?
That asked him to do drums. I guess not knowing that he was originally a drummer from the second album.
Wait, asked him or denied him?
Or denied him, yeah.
He applied to at an audition.
Yeah, and
to be in.
They denied him, and
they didn't know who he was.
They didn't know who he was.
Did he not even mention who he was?
Yeah. This application happened around the late 90s and 2000s.
He didn't say who he was at all?
I mean, he may have said it, but they probably didn't recognize.
Might not have believed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have said, "Get the heck out."
You're not John Mayhew. You just coincidentally have his name.
Who the young fellow is in that black and white picture off the first one.
Yeah. So.
And,
or, like, yeah, but, you know.
Fountain of Salmassus. Not Salmolassus.
He maybe didn't fit a Genesis.
He's the guy from Trespass.
Yeah. So
all his original ones that he would know would just be from the Trespass album.
Yeah, it's just funny to think about how they didn't see it. That's hilarious.
71 Nursery Crime.
Ah, yeah, Nursery Crime.
That's the name of this.
Yeah.
Classic. We're in the prime days of prog music, man.
Yeah.
And this
71
breakout thing to have your classic breakout album, just like Tarkus and them, Fragile.
And it's the first album of the core lineup.
Yeah, that's our classic days.
Our great times. It's this is what else can you say? It's an amazing prog album.
Yeah, you got your classic crowd pleasing.
Yeah.
Long prog numbers of Genesis, Musical Box.
Yeah, that's the standout on this album.
And Return of the Giant Hogweed.
Yeah.
With the saga of the same thing as the plot of Day of the Triffids, where a group of plants can move around and attack people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a musical, the musical box especially is
great stories. This isn't actually how the story goes, but that's what that is. Sorry, I don't have the gatefold one. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. So
open it up, please. Show the whole thing.
So we'll probably have to get a zoom in on that.
It wasn't the babysitter that killed him. It was actually his other playmate.
Yeah.
It was an 8-year-old boy and a 9-year-old girl, where she accidentally takes his head off with a croquet, something like that.
Yeah. And
anyway,
then
it's the tale of the ghost of a young boy who'd been stuck in a musical box,
for
one of those little music boxes in a nursery,
until he turns into an old man. And
it's a long sequence. Remember the little pre-story that Peter Gabriel tells on the stage and some of the live footages?
Yeah.
Where heaven somehow sends him back down?
Yeah.
I forgot if as an old man or as an 8-year-old. Anyway, he's in this music box. Comes out as an old man once in the nursery when the babysitter girl is like cleaning up. It was like the maid or something.
And she was cleaning and
who's doing something in the room and
knocked off.
Comes out, accidentally knocks the. Anyway, it's great saga.
Knocked off, and then she was. I think he tried to make an advance on her, and she, of course.
It's the 80 years worth of male sexual energy.
Not a fan of.
Turns him into a situational sex offender because she, of course, won't bang the ghost of a
Not a
elderly
fan.
man.
And then she.
And doesn't he get killed again? She
Yeah.
throws the box at him.
She
and,
throws
hits
the
him in
box
head,
at him,
something like
and
that. Cool, super cool, detailed storytelling in the.
evidently breaks the box and kills him, vanquishing. So, but
And your great epic song with
Yeah.
epic build-up.
it's a 10-minute long song.
awesome soloing with Steve.
So great arrangements.
Yeah.
They started doing away with using woodwinds as like a main passage, but instead everything just sounds kind of more together and cohesive. They're remolding
He, of
this
course,
thing.
still plays the flute.
Yeah, but
He'll play the flute till his dying day or whatever.
yeah,
Bass drum.
yeah,
But
it's very British. It's a very British album. So
8 or so minutes long that it is
yeah,
feels like about 3
yeah.
because it's an awesome song.
It's one of those songs,
Not
and
very many long songs that are over in a flash.
yeah, and they also did the ELP Jeremy's Bender thing, where there's a goofy British song on
yes.
there.
What is
with
the one on this?
Harold
Harold the Barrel?
Barrel, yeah. That's a funny one. That's
Yes,
where he
you
does.
gotta love, in addition to the, what is it, British surrealism and
the whimsy.
humor of the British, like Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah,
Same thing as Syd Barrett.
yeah. The whimsy. I always thought that the British whimsy was an exclusively Syd Barrett thing, but it's not.
Well, they
So.
in different. Yeah, this
It's different context,
Peter
but
Gabriel and Genesis are in the proud brotherhood of
whimsy.
fellas who kept it British.
Yeah. So
And all the different accents that he does, especially when he's doing a lady's
the
voice.
lady's voice is awesome.
He does accents of
Yeah.
just regular British folks.
Yeah. So, but yeah, 72. You
Well, what's on the rest of Nursery Crime? Fountain of Sound Masses, not Sound Molasses.
no, this
Those
one.
things I kept mispronouncing for years.
Yeah, I keep getting this one mixed up. I don't think this one has Firth of Fifth on it. I think that's later. So
Oh,
there was
yes. What is that one?
Harlequin. The tale of
Oh, the other Phil track for Absent Friends. Yeah, this has a Phil vocal on it.
oh yeah,
In
yeah,
addition to
a young Phil vocal. Yeah,
and then a track called Seven Stones. But yeah, totally awesome.
yes, yeah. It's all again. It's another album that I couldn't press the skip button on.
The beginning of our
All the songs were
super legendary classic run.
amazing. So
This.
the 72's Foxtrot.
This is your
Yeah,
Foxtrot album.
it's another one that involves
Proof that Phil Collins used to be cool. Man, yes, another neat
yeah,
illustration.
before the dome hairdo and
That's our Supper's Ready
yeah.
illustration with the sky and the universe and the cool
This is
thing there.
yeah, this is another classic Whitehead album cover.
Oh, yep, Paul Whitehead, yeah.
But
What's his
yeah,
name? Road manager, or Richard McPhail. Macful. Equipment to stage sound friend, also starring Guy and Paul. Well, good.
yeah. So
And neat illustration
those
of your different novelty character creatures as the fox hunters, and the fox is, of course, when he would wear the dress.
yeah, he
I
had
forgot which track, if it was part of Supper's Ready, but
he had a dress
did that, a red dress and a fox head.
and a fox hat to go along with
submarine and a whale,
the illustration. So that he would play on stage with.
Croquet mallet with the two girls. Well,
But-
don't forget the other album is happening in the background
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
with your cool little square dugout little
yeah.
hole.
It's
A
a-
couple people walking around.
So yeah,
Speeding along. Look at that guy.
this you throw it on your record player and those first two keys.
A
The first-
green elderly man. Sorry, we got to go through who these are.
Yeah.
A green elderly man, a monkey with a hat,
The red coats.
Sad clown? A mime? Is he wearing mime cheeks? Blowing his nose?
Yeah.
It looks like he's crying, wiping his nose with a hanky, with his head down.
Yeah, there's a lot.
A novelty funny, like on those puppet shows, the guy with the big long nose from, and the red hair from those old-time puppet shows.
The old red coat uniforms.
Again,
suits.
great stuff. This has been in a frame on my wall numerous times.
So
in the
dock apartment?
Over 20 years that I have owned these.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, these are some of the ones you're going to have to, what do I always say?
Zoom?
Not pry from my cold, dead hands, but these are some of the ones you can go ahead and toss in my coffin with me.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot what the catchphrase is, but these I'm never getting rid of.
Yeah, you'll have to bury them with me type thing.
I've owned these since initially being interested in what the British prog after Yes and them.
Yeah. Yeah, this...
learning that it was even Peter Gabriel's group to begin with.
Yeah.
And those costumes...
Those costumes are amazing. Yeah.
King of zany stage costumes.
Yes, yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, you know how they always say something like, for the rock groups, Kiss, Alice Cooper, and Marilyn Manson, the granddaddy of them all.
Yeah. He was doing them.
Blackie Lawless.
He was doing them way before they were. Yeah.
Just to put in perspective, let's go ahead and say what the previous ones were that were before him. Screaming Lord Such. Who's the...
Arthur Brown.
Yeah, Arthur Brown.
Yeah.
Who was the shock man who did the big voodoo, the 50s guy?
Sun Ra?
No.
No.
Oh yeah, you mix up the screaming, not Screaming Lord Such. Screaming Jay Hawkins.
Yeah. Yeah, they were the ones that did it before him, and yeah.
But yeah, impeccable theatrics that go along with the plot stories of the lyrics.
Yeah.
That are also expertly written.
I've always been a big fan of the bat
was
costume.
Involved in the composition of the music melodies, or if Peter Gabriel just did lyrics. Because they called it democratic.
I think, yeah.
Where it says all songs by Genesis or something. Most of the guys, I believe, got songwriting credit.
Yeah, they...
Is it one of those, like, Tool where you basically get credit for your own part?
I think...
Or
I'm pretty sure Gabriel got...
Genesis, written by Genesis, written by Genesis. Yeah, they're all equal credit because it just says written by Genesis.
I think...
I don't know who kept writing the instrumental passages, or if credit was also largely shared for.
I'm pretty sure
melody.
It was.
Did different guys come up with different melodies?
There was in
arranging.
On a lot of websites, you'll get a breakdown, but I think on these it just mainly says written by Genesis, and they have.
That's what I was saying. That's all you get in there.
Yeah.
So I don't know who actually wrote melodies.
So, but yeah,
or forcing the issue on. Maybe they would fight a lot. I know him and Phil, of course, would butt heads on
all the time. Yeah. That was. But whenever you put it on, whenever you put this album on, those first two chords are like...
Oh, what you were saying.
Really off.
What is our...
So...
Track 1 would be the Watcher of the Skies
Watcher of the Skies, and...
Again, beautiful number, what I call a super...
Yeah. It's
rockin' song.
It sounds
what was
off.
The thing with that?
But the thing of it is like... they played it with King Crimson's old Mellotron. So, like...
In the studio? It was one of those things where they walk in and there's a...
I think they bought...
Newman playing the...
I think they bought the Mellotron. I didn't think it was like
that was an actual...
Yeah, it was a purchase.
From the King Crimson man, well...
So, but the thing of it is like, the Mellotron they were playing had a tuning issue. It was this...
A not fully tuned Mellotron.
So, yeah.
Or a malfunctioning Mellotron.
They would, they either played it off key and corrected it, but yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have known it.
It sounded great.
I don't have an actual musician's ear.
It sounded amazing.
You hear the...
Yeah.
It's Mellotrons.
Yeah. It sounded great.
That are awesome.
That would just...
From what I remember in live ones, they reproduced the sound.
Yeah.
Unless if Tony purposely made it a point to keep hauling that specific non-tuned Mellotron everywhere he went.
Yeah, that would be commendable.
But yeah, you got your suppers ready with all the cool sections.
An album, yeah.
when he would wear the flower and the other costumes.
It's one of those when they did a album side song.
The super cool. Oh, yes, what about my Batwings?
Yeah.
Or not my Batwings. He wore the Batwings for Watcher of the Skies, but in tribute for those,
Yeah.
I had to do this, remember? How was this supposed to work? This goes...
That would go, I think, around your... Yeah.
Like a this.
But yeah, it would be...
Like a this.
It would be a set of wings that goes across his head.
I tried to bend the circles, but they wouldn't go down a while ago.
They would do up his eyes.
Where's your other access? Oh yeah, he always wore a lot of eye makeup. Starting then, he didn't actually. When were the costumes actually started? 71.
71 probably, yeah, with the Crimes album.
And he would have kind of like looking like a mime. He'd have a white face.
He'd have some darn good eye
He'd
makeup.
have white mime deals, and then either eyeshadow going all the way, different arrangements of eyeshadow.
Yeah. Whoever did
does it even look? Is it doing it, or is it? Do I still have to?
It's for this wing, for the wing on the right side's kind of
upside
falling
down.
over. Yeah,
But
fell.
I mean, no, they're not twisted. Are they both right side up?
The right one has to be twisted up a little bit toward your face. There we go. There we go. That's better.
Yeah, one of them was upside down. Yes, I think you have to just basically hold it. That string isn't strong enough to.
Very loose. Yeah. So, but yes.
Yeah, that's what I need. I need it.
He would
forward around your ears.
He would wear the bat wings and have the great eye makeup and the face, and yeah, it was awesome. That's my favorite costume. It's the bat wing, or not the wing, but the bat costume.
It was supposed to go with. Oh yeah.
So
I'm not wearing that thing in this heat.
Yeah,
it's too hot.
So yeah,
it's enough of a tribute just to wear those wings.
We get another comedic song, which winds
What's
up.
the other tracks on that? Get them out by Friday. And then what were the other? Something called Timetable. I didn't go all the way through this again in the recap.
Yeah.
Can, Utility, and the Coastliners.
Yeah.
And then your Long Supper's ready.
So
Track.
yeah, these are all again. It's
Classic time period.
couldn't hit the skip button again, even if I wanted to. The freaking
Cool stuff
yeah.
in general.
You go on to
Yes, what is the next
73 with Selling England by the Pound. So you should
Oh,
really...
my first one that I even owned.
Yeah.
Yes, that holds a great spot to me because it was the first of Peter Gabriel's Genesis that I even listened to
Let's see.
on buying the album.
Where... So...
Yep.
Yeah, I would be in that state.
How do these work? You put sequential
So...
from front to back,
Yeah, usually. But...
or from back to front?
I mean... Yeah, that's that looks kind of all over the place. But yeah, anyway, yes.
That's that one.
Selling England by the Pound. You can tell this is when the wordplay started because, you know, by the pound, it's both measurement of currency and weight.
Oh, he did.
So
He did a lot of wordplay.
So yeah,
Didn't necessarily start in '73, but it is a great thing
But-
for the lyrics.
yeah,
And it did have some kind of real reason to be named that.
oh yeah.
Remember?
They
The common market?
it started. 73 was whenever England started shying away from, well, England, right? Like they started adopting main parts of the American culture with some, with the punk and the new wave uprising.
Oh.
That wouldn't start until 75 or so, probably.
I didn't know if they were talking about both cultural currents and literal finance. I
Yeah.
remember somebody talking about how it was about England entering the common market.
Yeah.
Remember the new pound? They adjusted the pound sometime around
Yeah,
I thought that was like 71.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
There's no shillings anymore.
Double or triple your wordplay. So, yeah. But another great album cover that shows the literal plight of the lawn mowing.
Yeah, I know what I like in your wardrobe is the lawnmower guy.
So yeah,
and the British people behind him in the park.
This album starts off though with dancing with the moonlight, dancing with the moonlit night. Night spelled with a K.
Yeah, that's the first track. Awesome.
It's very heavy. Like I was not expecting that riff. The guitars in that are amazing.
Yeah, and Stephen Hackett wasn't afraid to use heavy guitars.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was like, where is this even coming from?
There's bits that are metalish.
So, but yeah.
And awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, that guitar solo in that song?
Yeah.
Super freaking
The
cool.
guitar solo is amazing in this, yeah. So,
again, great arrangements.
Yeah.
Beautiful production.
Yeah,
this one, I don't know if the others count as better, but this has
this is
gorgeous
the one,
production sound on it.
Yeah, this is like the drums sound amazing. The freaking everything about this sounds amazing. But yeah, this one has other classics on here like Firth of Filth.
Yes, there's the Firth of Fifth song.
Fifth,
the other one is I like After the Ordeal.
After the Ordeal,
it's only
good.
4 minutes long.
The
what's the other?
The Battle of the Epping Forest.
Yes, that's the other long and funny one.
Yeah.
Battle of the Epping Forest.
Cinema Show.
Awesome.
You can always get with the Cinema Show.
It has another thing that Phil sang on his own.
Yes.
Correct. There's another short novelty song on there, except it's another one where Phil gets to sing by himself. Fool Me.
Yeah. It's credited as Vocals Phil.
Is the name of that.
Yeah.
And then the Cinema Show that I love, super long thing, it was like, what, 10 minutes long or something?
Yeah.
That ends the album. And is a sweet
Oh, yeah.
title.
Yeah.
It's a Juffles. I forgot that second title. Empty the Isle.
Oh, Isle of Plenty.
Or Isle of Plenty.
Yeah.
Spelled with an A.
With an A, like a shopping.
And the rest of your cool song.
Yeah.
That ends in the same melody of how it began in the Moonlit Night song.
So you can put it on loop, and it's a perfectly loopable album.
Super duper.
Again, couldn't press skip on this. Every song was as good or better than.
Isn't that great?
The last one.
Their albums in this run are so cohesive.
Yeah. They
were usable. Yeah, it's like a high school student doing his homework, listening to the whole thing on headphones.
Yeah. Yeah, this was So
I feel like that happened in the first couple of years of college.
Yeah.
Is probably what I did with those.
Yeah. Yeah, so this whole album was amazing.
Look on YouTube for 1973 live footages too, because that's what that Bataclan.
Yeah.
I think it's a gig in France from 1973 that has been cleaned up to 4K.
Yes.
On YouTube, highly recommended. Beautiful footage.
Yeah, they did a solid job putting that footage up.
Except Phil Collins is blowing a whistle.
Well.
Did I already complain about the gym teacher's whistle? You hear it on the this. Oh yeah, that's our next. That's our next album.
You hear it on The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Nope. Or no, the Genesis Live.
The next one.
Yeah.
That counts as an album because it was a live album release.
So, yeah.
And super cool geometric. Let's look at the other side. There's the flower costume. And there's the fox bat or what's his name from Watcher of the Skies. You can't tell what he's wearing there.
Yeah, super cool.
The old man? That's not the old man, but that's him in where he shaved this part of his head. Totally
super
awesome.
Cool picture. Great hairline.
But you hear it in this, and then you also see him doing it on the Bataclan around the same time. Or sometime in 1973 anyway.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to throw a fit, but you hear him, he's playing along, toot, toot.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Would you get the hay?
And it wasn't even mocking the military like Pink Floyd did.
Gym teachers. Oh, yes. Did we conjecture when they were in high school in the 60s,
Yeah.
or grade school in the 50s, did gym teachers use in England those same whistles? Does it have a gym teacher meaning and connotation for them like it does for us? Or did they use a different whistle so they don't associate with? Why is he blowing a gym whistle in the middle of this? And it wasn't tonally appropriate, dude.
No.
Remember? They're going through, I forgot if it was the knife or musical box. So it was something dumb.
Either way.
Doing this
I think it was the knife, yeah. But
emotionally heated arrangement in the climactic part of the song with these heavy guitars.
Yeah.
And rhythmically timed perfectly, he'll put a peep in there with a gym whistle.
Yeah. So not contextually good at all.
And of course, hindsight being 2020, you're like, dude, you have 45 years of time with Genesis where you get to pick how goofy and lame and popish it is. Can you do that in 1987 or something?
Oh man.
Cool live album.
Funny.
Actually, let's look at what that says. Rainbow. Is this Rainbow Theatre? Nope. De Montfort Hall, Leicester.
No.
And the Free Trade Hall, Manchester, February 1973. So both gigs are from early 73.
Yeah.
And you get your cool little mini story on there. I forgot if it applies to a song. I don't believe so.
Yeah.
I think he wrote that for this album cover.
Right. But yeah.
And there you go.
Specifically, yeah. But
nearing the end of his run.
Yeah.
We're getting the last thing is a whale of an item.
It is, yes.
What's the last?
74's.
Super nifty. Here, you get to hold that first before we stick it up front.
The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway.
Yeah, Lamb Lies Down on Broadway.
Look at this.
Quite ambitious project.
You get a freaking novel in the inner liner.
It's long for a double album. Isn't it like over an hour long?
Yeah. Yeah, they did some serious groove cramming on here.
It's all one big adventure saga.
Probably the coolest version of their band logo.
With a main character.
But
oh, yes, what's this fellow? I think it's the same illustrator who did Wish You Were Here album cover and maybe Technical Ecstasy in Black Sabbath.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. Storm?
With the two robots shaking hands. I forgot his name.
That's not Storm, is it?
Anyway, it's the saga of a young Puerto Rican American kid in New York named Rael.
Yes.
Or Rael, however you pronounce that. Same thing as the Who song.
Yeah.
Rael.
And
that goes on a surrealist. What is it?
He's
tagging a building with a spray paint.
Yeah.
Graffiti.
And
is thrust into this weird surrealism adventure, kind of like your British whimsy of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
And goes underground and meets these various heroes, villains, mythical creatures, weird stuff.
It is a concept album in that regard, and it tells a story, so it's like a rock opera. But
most of the shows, or most of the concert version, when they play the whole thing all at once, of course, is him in the Rael outfit.
Yeah.
That's not Peter Gabriel. That's the guy who plays Rael in these photos.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And your cool extendo arm. Let's do a close-up of this. The extendo arm.
Yeah.
He's underground. There's a lady that either, I forgot if he follows her or has to run away or something like that.
Yeah.
And
the
carpet crawlers.
Yeah, the carpet crawlers.
He eats the lamia. I don't want to give the whole thing away.
Yeah.
And your legendary, awesome Slipperman costume.
Yeah. Yeah, this
where
is
Phil Collins. That's the thing where he says he couldn't even fit the mic. What is it?
He couldn't even put the mic.
Can't fit the mic to your mouth half the time.
Yeah.
Because it's that huge yellow.
It's the big yellow thing.
That huge bumpy yellow frog looking. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's part of the plot.
Yeah.
And he comes out in Slipperman later in the album.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. This thing, I've only gone through disc 2 like a total of 4 or 5 times in my life. For attention span, it really is long. You have to pay attention to the whole story, and there's a lot of stuff that happens.
Yeah, you do.
The songs on the first one are quite memorable. I know those. from 12th grade.
Yeah, especially
And listening to
carpet, like the carpet is the one. It's the one that stands out for me.
that second track. I believe it's called Broadway Melody of 1974.
Yeah,
That's the awesome.
that's a That had a killer guitar.
Bitchin' vocals, bitchin' riff.
Yeah.
We just lose the
So-
man. What's his name, man? Our non-dog.
Not.
I was afraid that was going to happen.
Yeah.
The box set. Oh yeah, I didn't even bring the CD box set in here. The box set that has a live version. Of course, would have stage difficulties with your effects and the funny
It wouldn't be a
costumes and different things that
Wouldn't
would
be a-
say. I believe they were quoted. Somebody said it only really worked on stage all the way through 1 or 2 times, or something like that. It's the last thing they did.
Big, yeah.
Remember, this was released late 74.
74.
Yep,
Yeah.
look at all that. That's the saga. That's the story of Rail, all written down right there.
Yeah, you get your.
And not the lyrics. That's written.
That's novel.
That's
yeah.
written. That's prose writing from, I assume, Peter Gabriel.
Yep. Yeah. So. But yeah, that is the last album with the power pin tent.
Hardy graphics by George Hardy, NTA. Don't know what that means.
Yeah, that's hard to know what that means.
I assume that's the guy, George Hardy.
But yeah, George.
Anyway, cool pictures.
So, but
To
yeah,
go through and look at the adventures of Rail,
um,
and you solve the plot at the end.
yeah, it wraps itself up. It's a
Where
rock
there's
opera.
2. It's about going along and seeing yourself.
And
He sees himself. At first, he thinks it's his brother.
He
'Cause him and
literally-
his brother look alike. So he's
yeah,
like,
he literally
"Wait a minute, that's
sees
my brother." But then later in the album, you learn it's him. He just sees another doppelganger of himself.
He literally sees himself. Yeah. So, but yeah, that is the last Genesis album with Peter Gabriel.
I still call it wonderful to go through,
Yeah.
even though you get your attention span kind of taxed at the end. But it's a whole bunch of, again, really great production sound.
Oh man. Yeah.
Crystal clear, beautiful production mixing.
Sounds amazing.
Keyboards. The Tony Banks keyboards really stand out on that. You hear a ton of
A ton of different.
super awesome Moog textures.
Yeah, he gets a
cool
Moog,
melodies.
and boy, do you know it.
You can basically count on him every single time for some kind of great keyboard
Yeah.
every few minutes.
Yeah. And again, great singing by the one and only Peter.
Yeah, it's your same guys.
So-
Super tight group, cool arrangements. It's Genesis.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's
Definitely didn't end his run with a crappy album.
no, not at all.
What would you call your favorite one of the Peter Gabriel phase? What's your favorite Genesis album
It would
when
be
they were a real rock group?
probably it would probably be Crimson.
Oh yeah, there's your whole gamut.
Yeah.
Pick between that list or that graph.
Yeah, it would probably be Nursery Crime. But man,
71, the breakout prog album.
you're making me pick between like
It's hard to. Foxtrot is also awesome.
because
It's so cool.
Foxtrot has dancing on it, so
Oh, are you talking about Selling England by
or
the
not?
Pound?
Yeah, Selling England by the Pound. But yeah,
Your favorite track is Dancing with the Moonlit Night?
yeah, that's my favorite track
Because of
but
that wizardry on the
As far as
that
albums
one sequence.
go, it would probably be this for a
Unbeatable as an entire album.
Full, yeah, cohesive
71.
experience. So, but
It's awful hard to pick one.
yeah,
My favorite costume of his, it would either be the bat or the
oh yeah,
geometric thing with the fluorescent.
yeah. For me, it's the bat. The bat wins hands down, costume wise. But
His
yeah,
wings
so,
behind his head, pretty awesome.
Final thoughts. Categorically superior comes to
Nice.
mind. With
Yes, I was afraid we were going to have to convene the butt club
no.
and
Now, don't get me
have to
wrong.
tiptoe my way around
I gotta
trashing Phil Collins.
I gotta say it. I mean, I like Phil Collins' music, but the
It's
guy.
clear that there are two entirely different approaches of enjoying what the music is for
The
the
guy.
80s
Yeah,
phase.
but the guy.
Yeah, it's
Not a
obvious
big-
he wanted to take it in a drastically different
So,
direction
yeah.
and succeed and make money at
Yeah.
the same time.
So, but, yeah, this stuff up here is way more interesting to listen to.
It's a prog group. I consider them the fourth biggest name in that
Yeah.
entire
They,
first breakout of those groups and the first wave of what counts as prog.
I wouldn't say they upset my top 5, but they changed it. They augmented it.
Oh, yes, you
So-
mentioned something about, it ended up scoring high in your
Yeah. They found a way in there.
newly revised list of all-time prog favorites.
Yeah. Knocking.
Favorite, but to me, historical influence in the movement, in the subgenre, is King Crimson, yes, and ELP. So Genesis counts as the fourth
Yeah.
biggest name
Yeah.
and flagship example of what the heck you're supposed to do in that genre in those years.
Yeah. I put it in my fourth as well, but I mean.
Because it's in step with the other albums.
Yeah.
Tarkus, Fragile, the
Yep.
Yes album,
Yep.
King Crimson,
Part of.
what's it called? The first couple King Crimson albums.
Yeah.
Lizard and that.
Yeah. It's part of that 71 golden era prog rock.
Yeah, Rule of 72.
So,
That sort of extends to 71 and 73.
yeah. But when you could basically just almost do no wrong. Almost. So,
In the best prog days, the
But-
heady days of the early 70s.
yeah. So, I'll definitely listen to these again.
Steve Hackett, Philip Collins. Do you remember that? Or you weren't there. It's the Los Endos. It's on YouTube. It's called Los Endos, the Spanish word that's from a 1976 concert
Oh.
from like European TV or something.
Yeah.
And he's Philip Collins.
Philip Collins, yeah. And I think,
Because remember, they went on. They did a couple things that would still count as proggy. That
Yeah.
Wind and Wuthering and Trick of the Tail,
and
both of which I used to have but gave away.
while it's a dumb album name,
I mean, they're not horrible.
it's a dumb album name, but
What?
and the album And There Were Three, that album.
Oh, when he left?
Y-
I forgot
yeah.
what year, but when Stephen Hackett left, it's the And Then There Were Three album, yeah.
That was alright.
It's then going into the 80s.
And then yeah,
And you don't want to harsh them so bad. Punk and New Wave happened.
yeah.
You couldn't keep doing the 1972 music.
Oh yeah.
all the
Otherwise,
time.
you turn it into something.
It's just, it turned into such an extreme
Yeah.
of these 80s pop things that
Yeah.
had that didn't come with dramatic monologues and theatrical costumes and renderings of the plot on stage
Great
with a guy doing funny pantomime up there. It's
thought-provoking
totally
lyrics. and
awesome. Yeah, it's just
and
super deep lyrics. His
amazing-
lyrics can be layered and
amazing
nuanced.
arrangements and
Masterful lyricist.
uh,
Yeah,
lesser variety of instrumentation. and-
there's hand clapping and booty shaking.
yeah.
Where you perform in Europe to those
You
European audiences that are better known for just sitting there in silence
you play.
and taking in your music thoughtfully, as opposed to in America where
You play for the
you
union
have
crowd.
a hot girl on your shoulders and
Yeah. You just got done sweating it out on
everybody's
his
doing lots of clapping their hands.
9 to 5 with the beers.
Call and response. Yeah, the
Yeah.
boss, Bruce Springsteen. gotta come with a bandana in your pocket.
So yeah, yeah, I'll listen to it again for sure. It's part of my new normal rotation.
Held extremely high to me.
So
Clear historical influence and what's it called? Place in the progressive
great replayability.
genre.
Yeah, great replayability.
Yeah, the music happens to be totally awesome too.
Yeah, yeah.
Down, 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 down.